Well, you may have been charged extra and you didn't even know it, because right now millions of stores are going through a very tough time because of a penny shortage we have here in the United States. Even stores like Kroger, Home Depot, Quick Stop, and McDonald's are all saying they are having to round up and down because they are out of pennies. Just look at this. It says U.S. retailers left short change as penny production ends. I want to read a little bit of this to you. Look at this right here. It says, now that the United States no longer makes pennies, there is a scramble among gas stations, fast food chains, and big box stores to adjust prices and round cash transactions, and it could potentially eat into their profits. What you need to keep in mind is that this is only going to impact cash transactions. Look at this. I want to play this for you. Listen to this.
I want to check your piggy banks or maybe your kids. There's a penny shortage happening right now. The U.S. Mint made its last pennies in August, meaning there are no new 1-cent coins going into circulation, while there are still around 240 billion pennies out there. Some stores are already seeing a shortage, meaning it's harder to make exact change. Some are choosing to round to the nearest nickel, which could either save you or cost you. But several states prohibit that, so retailers are calling for a federal law to allow it.
Okay, so look at this story right here. It says McDonald's rounding cash transaction as some locations run short of pennies. I want to read this to you. It says, with the U.S. Mint having made its last pennies 2 months ago, some stores and retailers, including Kroger, Home Depot, and Quick Shop, have begun to run short of pennies. Now the penny shortage has hit McDonald's. Some McDonald's locations in certain parts of the U.S. have run short of pennies and have begun rounding cash transactions up or down to the nearest 5 cents when customers don't have the exact change. It says right here, following the discontinuation of pennies nationwide, some McDonald's locations have not been able to provide exact change. McDonald's said in a statement, we have a team actively working on long-term solutions to keep things simple and fair for customers. This is an issue affecting all retailers across the country, and we will continue to work with the federal government to obtain guidance on this matter going forward. It says McDonald's is running short of pennies. So how are cash payments being handled? Well, here it is. It says, when a customer pays cash and doesn't have exact change, the purchase total is rounded down by as much as 2 cents or up by as much as 2 cents. So, if your lunch meal costs $12.06, for example, and you didn't have exact change and the restaurant didn't have pennies, you'd be charged $12.05. If your meal was $9.39, the total would be round up to $9.40. The same goes if it was $9.37, it would go down to $9.35. If it was $9.38, it would actually go up. It does go on to say that the rounding only affects cash payments. The majority of McDonald's transactions in the U.S. made by credit card and other cashless payments made in the McDonald's app, for instance. Okay. So look at this, though. Look at this right here. It says banks and retailers are running out of pennies. Here's what's interesting, and I want to read a little bit of this to you as well. It says, our convenience store chain Sheetz got so desperate for pennies that it briefly ran a promotion offering a free soda to customers who bring in 100 pennies. Another retailer says the lack of pennies will end up costing it millions this year because of the need to round down to avoid lawsuits. Yeah, that is a huge concern, is the lawsuits. It says, it's a chunk of change. The penny problem started in late summer and is only getting worse as the country heads into the holiday shopping season. To be sure, not one retailer or bank has called for the penny to stick around. Pennies, especially in bulk, are heavy and are more often than not used exclusively to give customers change, but the abrupt decision to get rid of the penny has come with no guidance from the federal government. Many stores have been left pleading with Americans to pay in exact change. I want to read something to you. Somebody wrote to me on one of the videos I did a while back talking about the penny shortage and how the United States was moving away from the penny. This person wrote and says this: I know this isn't a big deal, but I just thought it was strange that my Bank of America branch didn't give me the correct change. When I asked why they rounded down by 3 cents, they said it's because of the penny shortage. I was curious if anybody has experienced the same thing. Now keep in mind, 3 cents is not gonna break you, or it shouldn't, hopefully. But for some people, if they are spending money, let's say go to the Dollar Tree and they go to the gas station, then they go to the bank and they go to Target and this store and McDonald's and that store and another gas station, after the course of a week, and they went to 25 different stores, if every single store rounded up and so actually charged them more, okay, more for the same items, here's the problem. They're actually paying, let's say, an extra, 75 cents. And again, it's not a lot of money, but if you look at 75 cents a week, let's say you went to 25 stores every single week, every single one charging additional 3 cents. Let's say that's where you're at. So 75 cents every single week. That's $3 at the end of the month. Again, it's not a lot of money, but to some people, $3 can be the difference between having a meal and not having a meal. That's currently where we're at. Again, I want to read something else to you though. Okay, look at this right here. It says, the National Retail Federation said the dearth of pennies has hit retailers in urban and rural areas with no clear geographic pattern. Members of some state restaurant associations have voiced concerns about penny shortages. It goes on to say, any merchant that accepts cash is grappling with this. Here's the problem. One of the things that more and more states or stores are starting to do, and some states are pushing back on this, is many stores, are trying to go cashless. Don't want to deal with cash at all. They want you to pay with a credit card or a debit card. They say that's the easiest way to do a transaction. It's quicker, it's more efficient, right? And that can actually save you and them a little bit of money. So we're going to see what happens over the next several months. But as of right now, and especially during the holiday shopping season, some retailers are saying this could be the death of them. Look at this. It says Quick Trip, the convenience store chain based in La Crosse, Wisconsin, announced that its 850 stores across the Midwest would round cash transactions down to the nearest nickel. At a Dallas location, a sign warns customers the U.S. Treasury has stopped making pennies and we may experience shortages. Kroger, one of the largest U.S. grocery chains, told Reuters it is still assessing the impact of the penny shortage. Many of its 2,700 locations have displayed signs asking customers for exact change. Just the other day, I actually went into a Walgreens. I know Walgreens is still around, but I went to a Walgreens and they actually asked, do you have exact change? And I had a larger bill, which I was surprised they even accepted, and I had a credit card. And they didn't accept my American Express card, and so I said, oh, this is all I have. Gave them the large bill. They asked me for exact change. So I gave you an American Express card. You said no. I give you this bigger bill, and you want exact change. Well, it's highly unlikely that I have it. That's the issue. So we're going to see that over the next several months, but just know as of right now, this is a problem we are all going to face. But the reason I'm bringing it to your attention is so that you are up to date on what's going on and you are aware that many of these retailers are going to charge you a little bit extra if you don't have exact change and you're paying in cash. So let me know your stories. If you've seen anything like this in your area, just comment down in the comment section below and let me know what happened to you. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.